All right, it's gonna be a video on diagnosing issue with our dishwasher. This is a GE. It's not cleaning the dishes correctly, and hopefully it's a diagnose and fix if we are able to swap out the right part. So basically we ran the dishwasher a couple days ago, checked it the next day, nothing was very clean. Started messing around with it, and it sounds like it's just not running. You know, all the lights work and everything, but it doesn't seem like it's pumping the water around. And so what I did was I looked on YouTube and found some other videos on how to check to see if you have any issues. So I'll show that next. So to do just kind of a check, and I'll link in the description below to 2 or 3 other videos I saw that explain this better. But basically you hold down select cycle and start button at the same time. Let me do that real quick. I want to go to the tripod so you can see better. So you hold down these 2 buttons for like 5 seconds. And then it starts blinking. I think this tells you like the model or version number of the software. And once it does that and it stops blinking, then you hold down the select cycle for 5 or 10 seconds. Okay, and then it enters like an error check mode where you can test different things. So you can see right now it's blinking once every second. Hit select cycle, 2 blinks, 3 blinks. So each of these different numbers represents a different function. And I'll post what those numbers are, as far as I know, on the screen real quick. And so what I did for mine is whatever number it's blinking, if you hit start cycle, it's going to run that cycle. So I did my cycle for filling with water. Then I did my cycle. I went to the number for recirculation or washing, and nothing happened. So I knew something was wrong there. Then I did the one for draining and pressed the button and it drained. And so based on that, I think that my recirculation pump is bad. And so that's what I'm going to pull this out, take a look at, see if I see anything wrong with it. I'm hoping maybe it's just clogged up and I can clean it out. If not, then I will replace. So next I'll go on pulling this out. All right, so first thing you want to do is unplug your dishwasher, or if yours is hardwired, flip the breaker so that you cut power to it. I'm gonna do that in a second. Next thing I'm gonna do on mine specifically is I need to remove this trim piece. I screwed this in a piece of wood there after I installed the dishwasher, and I don't think it'll come out unless I take off this trim piece, so it's just screwed in. I'll take that off. And then after I do that, I'm going to go and make sure that I've got some slack in my power cable, in my drain hose and water hose, which is in there. Make sure I got some slack so when I pull this out, I'm not ripping anything in there, but I should have plenty of space in there. So I'm gonna do all that in a time lapse. Okay, so it's out. I also had these 2 little tabs that had screws going up under the counter. I had to take out after I took off that trim piece right there. But then it just slid out. If your floor is like mine, my tile has kind of a lip, so I had to pick up on the front legs to go over that tile and then get it out. And I'm about maxed out. You can see back there that silver line right here is my water line, and that's about as tight as it'll go, so I can't pull it out any further, so I might have to disconnect the water line eventually. But it's out, and so now I should be able to find the pump, which I think is underneath. Yeah, so again, just looking at the right side of it, the main recirc pump is this guy right there. This whole piece right here is the main recirc pump. So this is what I want to look at I don't think I can get to the bottom of it. I need to kind of push this over on its side. So in order to do that, I think I am going to have to disconnect that water line. So I'm gonna go turn off the knob at the wall and then disconnect it with a wrench so I can get this further out and put it on its side so I can look at the bottom of this. Okay, before I disconnect that, I just found something really cool I want to share. So over here on the left side, I don't know if everybody's going to get this lucky, if this happens to all the machines or not, but tucked underneath this, I don't know, it's some kind of a water valve, there's this piece of paper. And it's actually a little service sheet. And it talks about the recirc pump and different stuff like that. So I'm gonna take pictures of this and I'll put it at the end of the video if you want to look at everything in depth. But it basically talks about error codes here. Look, here's the numbers. So you know the blinks I was talking about earlier, it has them here. This is pretty cool. It talks about going to service mode, consumer error mode. So then it talks a little bit about the circulation pump here. Basically it says if your drain pump is fine, then it's probably your circulation pump. So anyways, I'll take pictures of this, put them at the end. So if you want to read through this front to bottom, you can. But this is really cool. I was looking for this online and could not find this without paying like 20 bucks for the service manual. So maybe you have this in your washing machine, maybe you don't, but here it is. My water source, the valve at the wall. Now I'm going to unscrew this fitting here. This is the water coming into the dishwasher. I'm gonna do this with a wrench. I'm doing it at the dishwasher because it's easier to get to here. But I think you could do it either here at the wall. Also, I think if I, drip water out of this line, it's easier to clean up out here with a towel instead of up underneath my cabinet. So I'm just gonna unscrew that and get that unhooked so I can pull the dishwasher out further. I got the water line disconnected. Not a lot of water came out of there, surprisingly. So now I can pull this out and hopefully bring it over on its side. Nice and easy. It's really not too heavy, so that's good. One other thing I did is this hose was going up here and crimped in there, and so I took that hose out to give me more slack there. But so there it is on its side, and again, this is the pump I'm going to be looking at right here. Now I did when I looked at other videos online, they said these clamps are like one-time use, so you have to like break these off, and so a new pump should come with new collars to or new crimps to put a new pump on. Okay, so to get this pump off, first thing I'm going to do is unplug this. I'm not exactly sure where the button is to get that off, but surely there's a button somewhere to get this off. Okay, so you just got to squeeze the top of it. There's a little tab on the top of the connector, and that squeezes out. And then just got to undo this connector here, and then we'll go in there. Okay, here's a pump. It spins freely, so it's not clogged. Nothing in there. But I did notice, if you look in the motor side, I don't know if you can see it or not, but it looks like the motor might just be worn out on it. I don't know if you can see those teeth or not back there. Anyways, I think it's the motor. I think the pump's fine, but the motor's just wore out because it's a brush motor. So I'm gonna order a new one. I'll put a link in the description below of which one I get. It's about 100 bucks. And in a few days when it gets here, I'll put it in and see if that solves our problem. One thing to check is our water line. Even though it's turned off all the way, it still seems to be dripping for some reason. So I'm gonna reconnect it to the dishwasher, put this pump back in without the collars because these are broken, but just to keep water from dripping out of there and keep it dripping inside the dishwasher. All right, so I got the pump in today. Here's the old one. Here's the new one. So they look pretty similar. It looks like it's a legit GE. It's got the same sticker. It's got the same logo on the motor. So I was a little worried if this logo wasn't here. I was gonna be worried if it was legit or not, but it looks good. So now basically I just got to put it back in the spot that the old one came out. So really the only thing I got to worry about is get this clip right here to get behind this plastic clip here. You want both of these hoses where they went. They also sent me some clamps to put back on so that nothing leaks. So I'll do that next. Okay, so I put one of the clamps on the pump end and the other one on the dishwasher end, the small one. And so now I'm going to try to finagle that on. And I'm using my tripod for something else right now, so hopefully I can get a good video of this for y'all. Maybe. Hopefully you can see that. Okay, so this has to plug into here eventually. I guess I should make sure it plugs in. It does, good. Okay. Unplug that again so I don't accidentally tear it off. Put my clamp back on. Okay, so I gotta line all this up, get this plastic clip in, the hoses in, all together. So I'm gonna do that. I'm trying to catch the small one and then swing the big one around. I have to loosen this a little bit. It's hard because of that hard plastic clip. It needs to slide in, and these other hoses need to go on. So it makes it kind of difficult. This is complicating things. Okay, there we go. I think I got it. I already had to do this once when I put the old pump back on, so that my dishwasher wouldn't leak whenever I was waiting for the part to come in. All right, hopefully you could see that, but yeah, so what I did was basically I got both of these on first, and then I pulled it back out so that I could get that clip, the white clip, to go behind the little gray tab there. And so, you might have to fight it for a little bit, but make sure these aren't on too tight so they don't bother you. Make sure this one's up out of the way. But now that it's on, I can bring this down, put that on, and tighten it all up. All right, so I got those on. Just want to make sure they're in the right place. The big one goes like right up against the gray flange. The small one goes up against the black plastic flange. Just want to make sure you don't over tighten it. You want it to be snug, but not over tightened. And then just plug the plug back in. I think that's it. It came with a zip tie. Don't know why. Don't see why I would need the zip tie. But so with that, I'm gonna put it all back together, hook up my water hose, give it power, and test it out, see if it works. Hopefully it does. One last thing, if you look here on the ground, there's a pile of kind of black dust right below where the old motor sat. And I think that's dust basically from the motor falling apart over time. That was it, just wearing out. I saw it on a different video. So that's a sign that your motor just kind of wore out. So again, hopefully this is gonna fix my problem. So not really the pump that was the problem, but the motor I think was the issue. All right, so don't forget to put your drain hose back curled around, put your insulation blanket on. Make sure you screw in these screws here so your thing doesn't fall out. I plugged it in and turned the water faucet back on. That's another important thing. Make sure you turn the water back on. Now I'm gonna go into the whatever error code mode, and I'm gonna force it to fill, and I'm gonna force it to circulate. And yeah, so I'll do that next. So again, to do that, I'm gonna hold down start and select cycle together. And then once it enters a whatever mode, then you hold down select cycle for 5 seconds and it goes into the error code mode. And then I can cycle through to the numbers needed to first fill it full of water. We'll run that cycle. The next cycle I'm gonna do is to recirculate, see if it works. Okay, so I'm in the service mode now. So I'm gonna hit, right now it's just doing 1 blink. I'm gonna go to 2 blinks, which is the fill. Hit start, it should fill. I'm gonna let it do the filling until it finishes. And then I'm gonna go to 3 blinks, and that should kick on the recirc. So I'm not gonna waste your time watching this. Okay, so that took about a minute. I can tell there's water down there, I think. Yeah, there's a little bit of water down there. Okay, so I think I'm still in the mode. It's 2 blinks. I'm gonna go to 3 blinks. 1, 2, 3, and please hope this works. Sweet, I can hear it recirculating. It worked, awesome. Okay, so that fixed it. I can hear it swishing really good. Let's see if we can catch it. Yeah, you can see that it was moving around. Sweet. Okay, so now you can go take this back to 1 blink. And that's a drain cycle. And so that'll just empty it out. And then I'll press another button to get out of service mode and do some dishes. So hopefully this is helpful for you. If you got any questions, leave a comment. It is August 2024. So, you know, I'll let you know if this pump fails in 4 years, 5 years like the original one did. So yeah, hope this was useful. Thanks for watching. If you got any questions, drop a comment. I'm pretty good at responding. Thanks. P.S. This is old motor. It just kind of popped the cap off, and it is disgusting. Look, it's just covered in black. And if you look at that copper stuff there, I don't think that's supposed to have teeth in it. I think that's supposed to be solid. You can see all those lines cut in it. I'm pretty sure that's what happens when like electrical motors wear out. So there you have it. I think this was the culprit. It is all covered in black dust, probably from stuff just wearing down, powder, metal powder. So yeah, that's pretty sure that's why mine failed. Anyways, thanks again for watching.